Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. I know I'm late, but it's season 2. So it starts after season 1. The Liftoff Leadership Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Fagan Muller in the building alone. Unfortunately, as you saw on the thumbnail, it is Fagan Muller and my resident guest has departed. He's still alive, ladies and gentlemen, but Daniel will be popping up on his own. As I said, he only came to come so here, and then he's going to go lift off on his own somewhere else. But the Liftoff Leadership Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad to be back. Thank you to everybody that's been prompting me. Brother, you said a week, now it's 2 weeks, now it's 3. So I've opted this season to get some more expertise in so that I can explain to you guys how to lead yourself well. The nice questions that was asked to me was, what is the podcast about? So before I go further and answer that question, I need to introduce, I do have somebody with me this evening, Mr. And to my wife, this is how you say his name properly, Kingsley Kesner. Good evening, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. Can't complain. Like I was saying, it was tough getting here. It's like everything was against us, but we made it.
And I'm definitely going to be touching on that throughout this podcast, because this man went through the fire to get here. From no phone to his wife's phone, and then who's Pastor Jerry, if I may ask?
Yeah, Pastor Jerry is my uncle. He's actually one of the top guns.
He's the top gun?
Definitely.
Okay, so shout out to Pastor Jerry also. I have your number now, so I definitely will be reaching out to you. If I'm sure the blessings are in abundance there for you.
You know, they say it comes from the top.
Is that the hands you say? Is that the hands?
Yeah, that's the hands.
Because and it's freak me, because like I was telling you, I will tell you guys that this is this man's audition, eh? Because you know I like my biblical view, as I'm getting schooled in that view. But I like to say you judge by your fruits.
Yes.
You shall be judged by your fruits.
Yes, and your fruits will show.
Now this is my thing. My fruits, and I always say this with my children, because I must have my children, which is the schoolites.
Yes.
And then my biological kids, which I call by name.
Yes.
Now that I still feel is my fruits, because one of the things we always say in our business is how your child acts at home is a reflection of us, and how your child at school is a reflection of you.
Facts.
So that's most fruits.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
So, and again, you have a young son, eh?
Yeah, that boy, wow, he's just full of surprises.
Is it not that I see myself in this?
Yeah, definitely. Like, when I was younger, I taught my mom how to use a smartphone, you know, and now I can't stop thinking, like, what is that guy gonna teach me? Already he taught me construction vehicles. I didn't know what an excavator was.
That's the blippy.
You know,
The blippy.
definitely. For any of the kids, parents watching, make sure your kid is watching Blippy so that they can speak properly and they can learn good education.
You know I'm the educationalist here. Blippy, you only go to a certain point of the blip. Alright, you can't be in a teenage year still watching Blippy.
Of course not.
Very important. But you know who's actually the queen?
Miss Rachel.
Hey, bro.
Miss Rachel.
Plug in Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rachel. And again, Miss Rachel, I watched this but on Instagram, so he reviews these channels.
Okay.
So the likes of Bluey.
You
can't Bluey people.
Nah.
Because Bluey then now smaak uit de bra. I'm just saying. So I watched this man that review the other channels because it's most important. I'm an educationalist. I need to see.
I mean,
so you know, so Miss Rachel, that man give 100%. If you go check out what Miss Rachel is making on Social Blade.
Oh,
my word. Socialblade.com. You go see how much the YouTube people are making from all your views. And this is why YouTube for our people is TV. As this man is you going to experience that. As I said before, lots of aunties and people have come to me, Fagan, ek het jou op TV gesien.
Yeah, and just to touch on that, you know, it's very important about what you're actually putting in front of your children, you know, because if I'm looking at people, if you're letting your children watch Cocomelon, I'm not.
No, I'm guilty. I'm a guilt man. I'm a guilt man. I just go, hey, put that cocoa, but cocoa come there. You see that algo, maybe he kill you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you also told the algorithm now what you don't want your child to watch. Now you must know what they throw there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, every time I just make sure I keep a reminder, like a alarm.
You
like,
can mute the stuff.
No, I when I come across those channels, I can already see it's like this. It's called Elsa Gate. Elsa Gate. So it's like knockoffs of the original thing, and it's supposed to grab their attention.
Yes.
And at the beginning, it seems like everything is fine, but here you see Mickey Mouse is pregnant. Like,
Yeah, no, it's evolved echt.
it's crazy.
Now, the other one again, 6 Alice, he is deep in, so I would just come and say, yeah, why are you watching this, brother? Put this, brother, off.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm 8 seconds too late.
Yeah, it's. I mean, but YouTube. I mean, they're trying.
You
They're
see?
trying.
And
They're
at the end of
trying.
the day, this is what, that sigh you gave is where, it's that, as I told Giovanna, I'm going to call him in soon. We was talking about the mountains, right? Certain mountains in the biblical industry, there's mountains they speak of.
Okay.
And when you climb certain mountains, unfortunately, you're going to get pulled in by some of these things and not. You know what I mean? So if you have a child, you can be, before I had my child, I was like, this man's not going to have a phone, this man's not going to do this, this man is, you know, you tell, if I'm going to teach, I'm going to know what he's going to watch, I'm going to monitor everything, I'm not going to sit on my phone, and he, you know, these days you get it wrong, brother.
It's tough.
No, it's the acknowledgement of getting it wrong.
Yeah, that's the first point.
Because this evening, ladies and gentlemen, that is just my intro for you. You feel comfortable now?
I'm good.
So
I'm good,
that's
I'm
the
good.
important thing. So what I do is, the podcast is called the Liftoff Leadership Podcast. Right?
Okay.
So Liftoff stemming from brother Daniel Nevenhuizen, right? His company is called Liftoff, and he explained to me when he explained it to me, it gave that kracht. Because to start, it takes off the most energy.
Yes.
And I'm always must visit in Bakwayo, law number 1, just stop. So I did the podcast, and then I just wanted it to be about leadership and all these principles. Because again, when I found out about these principles, 2020, I didn't damn know about leadership principles. I was just cupping on with who I am.
Yeah.
I'm Fagan, and ik kap aan.
Ik heb aan.
And now when you find the principles, the quiet thing, when you link it to how your character actually is, and you find that, you actually have those qualities. And again, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And the best thing is it can be learned.
Yes.
So it's to you sitting at home, you know, you going like, bruh, you can learn these things, bro. From 2020, I learned, bro. I just kept on.
Yeah.
Because, when you find it and it bites, you really realize this is how I can keep going forward. So the podcast is about pointing out things. Because if I don't point out the things, you'll never know it exists. And that's a trading principle. You must know.
Yeah.
If I don't say there is a head and shoulders.
Yeah.
So you see need a head and shoulders. And we will be touching on that because that's how I met this man's cup. So we went through many principles in season 1, laws, but we're sticking with John C. Maxwell, but I wanted to go into why. And with why, you can only speak about one man, Simon Sinek. Right? He wrote a book called It All Starts With Why. And because in essence, like you're saying, before you have the child, you just worried about what he's watching. And as Simon Sinek explains, there's a golden circle. And in the middle of the golden circle is the why.
Okay.
Now we more were worried about what our child is watching. But what if we considered why do we worry with what they're watching? It's going to be a better way to consider, because then you'll actually structure what they're watching.
Correct.
So why must you watch it? Why can't I watch this? So now I explain why you can't watch this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this evening, brother, it all starts with why?
Wow, and that just makes me think, as my son was growing up, he just couldn't get out of it. Like if I had to tell him, Malachi, it's time to go sleep now. But why? That was his thing. He was always asking me why. I was saying, Malachi, you can't do this like that. And I was like, why? And anything I asked him or instructed him to do, it was always why, you know. So that's actually powerful, because what I did was, instead of always giving him an answer, I put him to the test. So what I did was, I asked him, why do you think? You know?
Rather you doing things that the Kabumate already has been trying to teach the parents, that I'm trying to teach the parents. Bro.
Yeah, because like, yes, he wants to know an answer out of curiosity, but also to understand why is he asking why, you know? Obviously he wants to know more than what he think he knows. So after I kept on asking him, why do he think, he gave me the answer basically. And then I told him, but you just gave me the answer. Like, why must you not jump on the bed, you know?
Simple.
I asked him, why do you think you shouldn't jump on the bed? No, because the monkeys were jumping on the bed and they fell off the bed and they broke their neck, you know?
Here we go. Simple.
So that's the answer he gave me, and I was like, but you just answered yourself. You know, you just answered yourself. So you're brilliant. You're spot on.
I love that we're starting there, because you're starting with the young 3-4-year-old and just explaining about the monkeys that fell off the bed. And in essence, I want to go deeper into it, but I don't understand that. Why can't I sleep on a Friday night and play tomorrow? Huh?
Nah.
You know what I mean? And then he said, but that's the question he's asking you. Why? And then you must ask him, but why can't you do that? So my answer is always like, do the best player in the world do that? Like, it all boils down to the why.
Yeah.
And the why, so the golden circle, 3 layers, little inner layer, little outer, let's talk about the outer layer. What? Everybody's what? Which is what is result space.
Yeah.
Everybody's result space.
Yeah.
It's got to be about the result space. Now, this why we speak of is about leadership, because it's how you lead. And that's what this podcast is about. So how do you lead yourself? And why do people follow you? That's what's the main thing.
Yes.
Do people follow you? Because now we're talking about why do people follow you? Do they follow you because you have money? Today I found out about the word glazing, to all of my students out there.
Glazing?
No, he's glazing you. There was this, what Fagan, you the maths teacher. One of the students loved me. And the manager said, stop glazing. I said, what donuts is here that you're glazing here? So I'm like, okay, let me break this down to you. In the dusty streets where I come from, they call it kooping gefrit. And then I said, when I go further, they call it also known as the holborsel.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking about this, and I'm telling them, you must know what I'm going in this evening. That's why. So that why needs to be understood. Why are you sucking up to someone?
Yes.
Because you don't have a why. You're only following the what. You base your lead, how you follow, from a what. Why do you follow that, brother? Nah, that man is making so much or doing so much. And this is a contrast to how business is built, but this is a business principle, because it's a leadership principle.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is not ROI. Your why really falls into ROI. Because if it's why you're doing everything to make money, it's like, no, that's the no.
Yeah, that's the
byproduct.
The byproduct, yes, correct.
So, in essence, we went to your son, but that's not why you were here. I said I have a marketing specialist on here. You run a business, sir, and the business name is Marketing Sales Managing.
That's correct.
And you do what?
So, what I do is to keep it quite simple, right? To keep it quite simple, we do business development.
Okay.
So, it's all about growing someone's business. You know, we want to take your business from point A to B. And then if you can, if you want, if you see that there's a need, we take it to Z, you know. Okay. We don't leave no stone unturned. So also why, you know.
Why from there?
Yeah, also why, like, because if you're looking at business development.
Wait, before you go why.
Okay.
I met you putting in Wi-Fi for mouse.
Wi-Fi, wow. That's
I met you putting in Wi-Fi for mouse.
Yes.
I had 4 kids in my home. laughing around a coffee table. It was a square. It wasn't like this. And I was telling you, my bro, you were like, what's going on here now?
Yeah.
Holding the lights,
What you got going here?
So I come 2 days as first. And then this one is, this is what it is. Why? Even if I must show you the old blast choppy, you know what I mean? The old logo.
Yeah.
Man, and you were like, what's it? And we explained to you why. The art and everything. I don't want to get into that. I don't do that in this podcast.
Okay. Okay.
So, but again, I'm
I'm
giving that context because why are you doing what you're doing now? Because that's going to give more essence of the business.
Okay.
Because I know you moved from that to, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because you also gave me like, okay, I said, I'm also trying to flip some money on charts. You said, hey, that's what I was trying to do, yeah?
Yeah.
But there's a reason why. There was something else. So this obviously started, and then what's the why for this, Muslim?
The why for this, right? So, like, I'm quite a while in the industry, and the why was originally, how I started this was, I don't want to work for a boss all my life, right? And I want to be able to give my family a good life, a good life. It might sound cringe, but I was thinking, can't I just one day wake up at any time of the day and ask my wife, what do you feel like doing today? Whether it's doing skydiving, going surfing, going to explore, and obviously this to a lot of people sounds like it's far-fetched.
But that's a why. Keep on going.
Yeah. So as to why, it was that I definitely needed to create an escape as to how I can provide for my family, apart from just doing the regular routine thing of standing up, going to work, I was already getting myself out of that routine. So that was the why, right? And obviously, like you said, leadership, you didn't know it was a thing. You were just doing it. You were just doing it without even knowing it was a thing. But as time came by, you then discovered, So most recently, I actually discovered why I'm really in business.
There we go.
So to get to the heart of the why I'm really in business is I'm here to serve God's people.
Yeah.
And God allowed businesses and business relations for people to actually connect. So like the reason why I'm here now is because God wanted me to meet you. It wasn't by coincidence.
No, definitely.
So the why is it all stems off from why God stipulated business for being a way of people meeting, and why I'm in business is to serve, right? To serve. So I serve all my businesses, I serve all my customers with the best expertise I have, and that is why God has placed all the skills and expertise within me so that I can serve these businesses.
And I've been telling the children all week, look here, I wake up Monday, Jordan Peterson, quick line. You just so, God gave you gifts, you're going to have to answer for it.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling them, they're like, what do you mean? I say, even if you can talk, you're going to have to answer for it. So in essence, and I like that we stuck on the why, because the why is the identity.
Correct.
No, I'm telling you this.
No.
Simon Sinek says this.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yes, it is correct.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be anything else. Now, I'm going with a psychology brain. My favorite, Uncle Siggy, Sigmund Freud, ID, superego, ego. So your ID is essentially who you are. So your why becomes who you are.
Yes.
Now, I try to, like I said before the podcast, this is the first talk I do with all the football teams. And then they're blown away. Because if you can identify as a footballer, you see where I'm going?
Yes.
So look, I call any kid that I've ever taught since 2016, when I walked into a school and became a fully fledged teacher, will be able to say, if I say, what do I call the last 20 years? They will all say the fatherless generation. And I call it that because of fathers per se, but I call it that because people don't like to identify as the father figure also. Because the ID is a lot.
It is.
I even, for example, I never used to read. I told you this. I didn't know. Damn, used to read. I only started reading in 2020. And I picked up the book, How to Raise Positive Kids in a Negative World.
Wow.
That is Dale Carnegie. No, sorry, that's Zig Ziglar.
Why did you choose to pick that book?
I don't even know, bro. I was just like, okay, I'm on this, meet Brian King, shout out Brian King for introducing me to John C. Maxwell, and I'm watching on YouTube 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, and I'm thinking, oh, this brother sit on a stage, he's every pastor that's ever that you've heard say, turn to the guy to your left and turn to the guy to your right. That's John C. Maxwell. They all watch John C. Maxwell. John came up with that. You know what I mean? So this brother, and then I'm just know where I was, and I get this book, How to Raise Positive Kids in a Negative World, and came over. In that book, that man is talking about, that book is written in 63? Oh, no, but it's written in 73. He's talking already about how the TV, what the TV is doing, how you must put your children on TV time, all those things that's happening now he's talking about. But the one thing that hit me, he's saying there, the reason why people are so far away from the Father, God the Father, is because they judged him the same as their Father. He's never around. And I'm like, yo, now I have to stand up and be counted for. And when I was teaching, I was really in that, we got to care for these kids. And that's why the kids, they knew my why. I was only there for them. My why is I'm here for you. I'm not here for anything else. I'm just here for you. So if you identify something, is already understanding your why. Because one of the things I like to say, you must take the titles people give you. You may be walking around and you say, yo, that man is a legend. And you're like, nah, I'm not, relax. Unfortunately, you have to take it.
Yeah.
Because they have put that why
that title and why? I mean, why do they call you the legend?
Or I'm like soccer field. I kepi, skipper, hey kepi. Now you have to identify as that. I always tell the kids, go on my socials, you'll never see me popping a bottle. You know what I mean? I'm an educator.
Yeah.
It's different things. So you have to be very wary of yourself in this industry.
Your brand.
And your brand and everything else that goes with it. Because your ID is, and especially where we are now, like a child leaving school or you as an, I always, when I do my research, and I tell my brother ChatGPT, I say, take all this that I've given information of the why and everything, and place it into different industries. And I always say, professional sportsman, educator, call center agent. I always plug in those ones. Entrepreneur. Because that's the fields that I found myself in. And normally a Lumber call center agent, he don't think he's a leader, bro.
Yeah.
Why are you doing what you're doing? That's where they lose themselves. Because guess what's after why? How? And then it's what. Now before I go to that, I'm going to start from the outside in. When you are in school, they would duck with you. What must you read? You must read this. You must read this. You must read this. That's what's now telling you what you must read. They don't tell you why you must read it.
Yes.
They do cover the middle. They show you how you must read it.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you why. I always at the end, and that's the essence of you. Like always explaining why. It's more like your foundation. How are we going to go about this? What? If you identify as a footballer, you always on training.
Correct.
100%. I was a professional footballer. Unfortunately, and fortunately for me, unfortunately for you, I tasted it. So I can niks sê nie. I sacrificed a lot. Because why? And my why was too small again. My why was I want to play one PSL cap. My why was I want my family to see me on TV. My why was nobody from that side of the family studied. My why was, so all these whys come from wounds to overcome. So the whys always had a lid also.
Yeah.
Because now when you hit it, and then what's next?
What's next?
And then how do you expand your whys again? Is meeting new people. And I mean, you've got a partner. You work with your partner in your business.
In my business.
And there's always I look at so many strategies now because I look at I was 38 now, looking back at all the brothers. Oh, what's that brother doing? What's that brother doing? What's that brother doing? Now it's either some are still with their partners, some are not, some are in business, some are still working. So you look at all this because now I take this leadership principle now, I put it there by you. Now I think back. What was your why back in the day? If you go back to 18-year-old you on school matric.
Wow.
What was your why?
You know, if we go back to school, I would say that the entrepreneurship spirit was already within me. Because I was selling taxi biscuits on school.
No, you know what I'm saying?
And what I did in terms of leadership, I was like, guys, look here, I'm going to show you how you can sell taxi biscuits. And I went to each and every one, and I didn't have enough time to waste on them. So I just went there. I was saying, hey guys, I got taxi biscuits, it's 2 rand. If you don't want, say no. If you want, say yes. So it was either yes or no.
Not still the chirp.
Not still. And what happened was I created a culture where my own guys took that exact same strategy and they started selling still middle bubblegums. And they did the exact same thing. And it worked because that way I could get around the school in my break time quicker. And most of my time was spent with the people saying yes. You know, I'm not going to waste my time with people saying no.
So you're not cold calling you.
Yeah. And that time I didn't even realize it, you know. But it was happening.
And this is that reflection. And again, the law of reflection. Stop, pause, and let growth catch up to you. Because we don't see where this thing spark from. I mean, I permanently show all my books here where I wrote things out. And then I go like, okay, this is where it actually sparked from. Because we don't acknowledge that these are real principles that can work. For example, I didn't want to read until that book said, why? That book told me why I must read. Because after I read that book, but I knew, I know I work on people's nerves because I have a lot to say. But don't give me books to read, Muslim.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm realizing, if I had to be reading this that time already. But I think with the studying psych, and obviously that also hit, because now I'm like, the study of the brain, this thing actually works. Because like Sigmund Freud, that hit me. Because this is what I was talking about, how you identify of how you were raised. And I'm like, because now I'm looking at all my qualities, and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, this is why, we all from the dusty streets of wherever you dusty Cape Flats, we all have that struggle muscle.
Yes.
And it should be like a driving muscle, but you obviously get those that don't drive. So how do you identify with that? I love saying I'm from Hanover Park. So it's that identity, man, that you drive with.
I mean, if you can't look back at your roots, then...
And like you say, you look back and you go like, I used to start this business started in grade 5, in standard matric.
Yeah.
And I was buzzing already, doing the entrepreneurship. My thing was, I was already, like I always tell the lads, I was an clown on school. Strammington High School there down the road, oh my word, there wasn't a play or an event in front where I wasn't part of it. I said, Fagan, there's nothing for you to do. I said, can't I just keep the mic while what's name is playing on the guitar? Okay, I'm just kneeling there in front of the school, smiling at the whole quad. But it's that, man. And I'd say I was saying I just wanted to be famous, but now, and like the Lord say, you must want to be famous, I put you on TV, I create YouTube. So it's almost a TV.
And like, for the reading, like, you never loved reading, like, you didn't grow up like that. But now we have an opportunity, because I myself also, I don't like books at all, but I know that books give you good knowledge that you can actually apply to your life. Because like you said, why read A Life of Pi? They give it to you, they show you how to read it, but they don't tell you why you should read it, know?
That's so mad.
And now we have the opportunity to extend that to our kids and to everyone else listening today, why is it important to read books? So if we take it to the main book, right, it says that train up the child in the way they should go, and they will never depart from it, you know. So we can't necessarily blame our parents for not putting us in that rhythm, but like you said, acknowledging is the first step.
It's the first step to,
You
I
know?
don't know anything of what is to be said.
Yeah, so acknowledging that and taking it from there gives us the go to extend it, you
And
know.
the one thing that sat out with me with John C. Maxwell was, okay, I know a bit about the Bible, and that brother says, all those laws is written from that book.
From that book.
He just had to, obviously, like you can't, for me, and I told my, I was by my grandma today, my grandma has told me, you know, I don't like that you go to other church, must now, must I was like, yeah, they give me the talk.
Here's the talk
Here
coming.
it come, bro, here it come. Anyway, they give it to me. But I think I've grown so spiritually, and I was telling my wife, like, she was like, nee, die man ken you. And I was like, the intention behind me going to church. You know what I mean? And I was obviously, you know, throwing the kudos there. If it wasn't for you guys to take me to Sunday school and everything. And I got married in Hanover Park in the church and everything else and so forth and so forth. Because I'm at the People's Church in Constantia. So my boss even hit me with is it because of the areas? I'm like, yo, damn, they hit me with all ones. But the intention, and I could explain to her why. And she was like, okay.
She got it.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. It's still tough.
They had to digest.
It's still digesting. I can't. You'll never find yourself anywhere else. You know what I mean? Our Lady of the Rose in the Catholic Church there. You see, I even plug in the church, you know. So, at the end of the day, these things happen, but the essence is why. Why? And like you say, the word will go. And she was like, oh, like, I'm trained in the word. I'm in a work with the youth ministry also. So now getting trained in the word and training up the kids and reflecting on it all the time. And then I also go, and then I hit her with this one. I see that the difficulty with me with bringing the word to the people is that, but this is normal, is that they will always judge you by the problems you had, not the solutions you bring.
Correct.
So I'm like, she was like, oh, I said, yeah, man, you must know, now they see me back in the day, this crazy guy. And now it's different. Now you're literally opening up a can here and just speaking. And not caring, because I don't rewatch this. I go like, nah, I can't even hear it. I don't want to know what I said. I just have to stay there and linger. And whoever was impacted, because I say this every time, I don't care whether I'm right or wrong, or I only care whether we grow from this.
Correct.
The seeds that's planted, somebody hears something, they go like, yeah, I don't know, it's good, glad he said it. Or, you know, as people contact me for, finally somebody said it. And I'm like, yeah. Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it, bro. If you can't identify as it, then leave it, my bro.
Yeah.
Then find the why. Because we don't want to identify as a father. I mean, we have a lot of klom means and it's just luster and they go. Like people say, well, the people feel so hurt that they will call me and say, but you don't understand me, bro. I'm trying to get to my life. I said, wasn't talking to you, my bro. It's just a principle, man.
Yeah.
Because identifying is whatever you want to identify. Like, how is it identifying as a marketing sales manager? How many questions do people have for you?
Yeah.
And you must be able to answer
I
them.
must be able to answer them.
And they're going to ask you how questions.
Yeah.
And the worst questions you're going to get is, and I want to ask you, so what do I get if I take your service?
What do I get?
Yeah, what's the outcome? What's the result?
You know what I tell them is, firstly, what you're getting is nothing compared to what you're gonna be getting. Like, because they're always worried about the results, you know. What am I gonna get in return?
That's people only worry about the outer layer.
Yeah, and the way business is structured, it's not about the money. Like I told you, it's about building that relationship. Yes, the money is there because things cost, right? But business is built on relationships, And what I always tell them is, what you're getting a partner that is with you 24/7, allowing you to enable different marketplaces within your business. Having someone that's part of your business tell you hidden gems that you didn't even know that it could be possible, you know.
So it's going through the business, looking through it, dissecting, finding out this is what you're missing, this is what you can add, this is what you need to delete.
And how I always, when I'm going out and I'm speaking, I always say, this business started by just graphic design. Building you a nice flyer for your business, off you go. You know, building a logo for you, off you go. And then it went to web design. That is where we dive more deeper into setting your online presence, you know. And then we stepped into marketing, where we like, how can we now enhance that online presence? And now today, you can book a consultation with me and ask me, how can I grow my business? And I can tell you how. So
the same guy that put in the Wi-Fi.
The same guy that put in the Wi-Fi.
The same guy that was selling the taxi biscuits.
The same guy that was selling the taxi biscuits.
And in essence, it all starts with why. So I found this gem, and again, this is a old gem. So the why in the middle is your identity, right? How do you identify? Like I said, I speak to sportsmen, so I say, you identify as a sportsman, this is what comes with it. And I'm only in the middle. I'm not even by the how. The hows are easy. The how is work hard, work hard, work hard. Klaar. No matter what industry you're in, like just work hard. Harder than the rest. Harder than if you should take a rest. That's how hard you should work. Because in essence, if we can't delve into every industry and go, this is what it should be. But in essence, in the how, it's hard work. And then in your what, which is your reward system, that's obviously your outcome. So now, publicly, your ID is based on, and your why is based on, and this is for you, Mr. Simon Sinek, your faith. Because your why, your ID is by faith. And as you move from by faith, you move to your how, which is your desire. So by faith, by desire, which eventually will achieve your reward. So if you base your, and this is where we falter, because faith without works,
it's dead.
Ish.
It's dead. It's. I mean, and you know, like people don't understand what faith is, man. They just think it's a fancy word, you know. But faith is a big thing, because I would be lying to you if I say that this business that I got was not built on faith. Because if it wasn't for me to have faith, then I mean, I wouldn't be here today. You know, I wouldn't be here today. And the book, you know, also says that Hebrews 11 verse 1 says, for now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Yeah.
You know, so how can you have faith in something that you can't see?
And that's that boiling down to the why.
Why?
The imagination, the you saying, okay, I want to wake up one day. Even I sat in a meeting with yourself and your wife, and she even get cringe that you want to wake up one day and do nothing.
Yeah.
But that's the why.
Yeah.
And you don't know, like, I think it's because I know our wives all like, they think it's tomorrow. You want to wake up tomorrow. I know it's not tomorrow. But in essence, what I'm trying to create with this podcast is a culture of faith.
No, that's amazing.
Because if we can have a culture of leadership, then you must understand how you must lead yourself well. And a culture only exists, and I've explained it on here, a culture only exists and start with what do you think? With a language. I grand talking to you. Like that's like in general. I'll give you a call and just talk anything. My bro, I was the soccer the weekend and we'll just talk and then also must go into a biblical night. Bruno van Landis must go praise or something. It also must go from there and then it will go serious and you'll laugh again and it starts with the culture, man. And it's the culture that sets the faith also. And that's what I essentially want to create. Everybody just talking, a lot of people. Imagine the comments is full of just a lot of people commenting on faith and leadership and you should check this book out and this way. Because we don't talk like that here.
Yeah.
We don't roll like that here.
Yeah. And guys, for all of you guys there, trust me, if you're not sending your child to Blast Academy, they're missing out, guys. They're missing out. I mean, no school is teaching your children about leadership. They're just teaching them how to be better slaves. But Blast Academy all the way.
Now,
if you want the best for your kid, Blast.
Now we try, we put it in, and again, like I joined the BNI network. Shout out to the BNI network and all the brothers and sisters in there. I was actually going to run through all the businesses, and I thought next week, plug all of them in. And it was just I needed to be around a culture of business people, business networking people. Because I can't always be talking to Johan, he's flying up and down all the time. And I can't be around one person that's always, you know what I mean? Because that's too little. In essence, the guy in the book, he called on 12 people. You know what I mean? He just said 12 months kappa.
And I mean, like, show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
And bottom line, John C. Maxwell, that brother say, hey, what's the best leadership law? He's like, I gotta answer your question because I must answer your question. He said, ultimate one is who you surround yourself with. Bottom line. He's like, why? He says there was this guy. There was this guy in this book, and he just asked 12 guys to follow him. And you know what was the essence of it? He didn't even need to explain himself. He literally just said, I am, follow me. Klar. And they were like, okay, I'm gonna go. You sound convincing.
Yeah.
So if I still need to explain further than 2 words to you, then that's already a problem. And John was like, but in essence, it is again who you surround yourself with. And I mean, putting myself again into the BNI network, be there for 3 times a visitor, it is a cost, but in essence, if being there, I've met already 3 people that's moved me closer to where I think I need to be.
And I mean, that's exactly the why. You know, why did you surround yourself with those people?
I want to talk to them. I just want to be around people that talk. That tomorrow, joy come in the morning. You know what I mean? And one lady's like, that's such a bad experience in business now. This happened. I'm like, you don't look like it happened.
Yeah.
But that's the leadership, bro.
That's the leadership.
Not taking care of leadership is not about taking care of the people it's about what is it? It's not about leading the people in your charge, it's about taking care of the people in your charge. And I'm looking at this lady and I'm like, yo, you really taking care of everybody in your charge still. You know what I mean? Taking care of them. Hands around them. It's not about being in charge, it's about taking care of those in charge.
And the best leadership quality is depending on how you serve your followers.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, how more can you be a strong leader if you can't lead yourself? You know? And it's crazy how we don't get taught these things and we just have to discover it. You know? We have to go and research. But now in today's life, it's not that hard to get onto these type of things. But it's just that the people's mindsets and the environments that they're in, it's like keeping them captive, you know. They need to surround themselves with the people that's making it in life, you know.
So I'm just reading from my notes here, and I have, this is what the word I have. I had, a culture of faith starts with words we use about ourselves and others. So now with my kids now, I always say fools. And they say, come you fools. So I'm like, I must change this all the time. I need to change my words all the time. I haven't listened to them. So one kid comes to me like, Fagan, two ladies, two kids was talking, and they swore. And I'm like, I don't swear. They were telling a story and they swore. So I was like, okay. So I always take it on me. I'm like, nah, this, because they were maybe just saying, nah, the weekend was tijdelijk or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But I know this, the one kid I have is, obviously they don't swear in his home.
Yeah.
So that already sparked him. So
It's
he
like,
immediately
wow.
thought, hey, man, tell Fagan now. I was thinking, hey, Kwai, what did they say? Kak. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to get them. Yeah. So eventually I called the two. I said, look at here, the two of you. And I'm saying, the two of you. Now they really look at me and I say, you know what? Nah, potent. Because as I'm talking to them, I'm looking on the walls, and we just have rules on the walls. The loud music, put your cell phone in there, no ball games in the court, play nicely, enjoy yourself. And I'm looking at them, only had the one word, and I'm like, nah, you guys are talking like this because there's nothing on the wall that's making you talk to them. And I immediately somebody comes, from same time they print 100 quotes, the print the stuff there, come, we need to laminate this, the stuff need to go on the wall. It's still lying there, we still need to put it on the wall. However, that's my acknowledgement. I always see, because again, and I always say this, our background in psychology is always when children are doing a certain thing, and even people, and not children, when people are acting a certain way, there's an emotion that's wanting to be exuded here, not the behavior.
Yeah.
Because society, in essence, only looks at the behavior. You kill someone, balls more, klaar.
Then.
They don't consider the emotion.
Why? What happened at that moment?
Yeah,
what were you thinking?
You know what I mean? So, you can't, unfortunately, treat children the same. But we do. You know what I mean? You banged, you got detention too. You banged, come here. What kind? Why are you walking around me, bro? Nah, sir, man, come late there. They were sweating and they chucked me out with the sweating. Yeah. Okay, come here, let's go get water there or something. Like small things like that it used to irk me on school. Like not giving the light hearing. Nah, and I was in South that light, it was playing interval soccer.
Yeah.
So when my winner come in, then I already say, Owens, you must know how you're asked now. Just wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Go drink water. It's like understanding.
Yeah.
Look at this deeper understanding. At university, they give you 10 minutes between each period to walk from the one period to the next. All universities are like it.
Yeah.
School. At this period, it ends at this time, that teacher speaks to you at this time. I don't know what telepathy thing is there by the schools that these teachers want you to go like this. Goku. Instant transmission. Hier, die hele klas hier, allemaal hou handen, je gaat dus, nah, man.
Nah.
And in essence, it starts with why again. Why are you doing that? And then what culture does it create? Because it creates a culture, the way you speak about others is the way it creates culture. Now, working and speaking different is also culture.
True.
And it can be created. And my favorite thing to share for this next 9 episodes is all these things can be learned.
Okay.
Because people started throwing in yeah, but you studied. And I'm like, nah, man, I didn't even know I want to study. Like, I didn't have a why. I would literally say, not to say I deserve it, I did deserve it for going back to university.
Of course.
But if it had to, for the start,
Yeah.
if you had to give me the degree at the start, I don't deserve it. I didn't know what I was doing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was there, bro. What is this? I failed hopelessly. I didn't know why I was there. So in the start, I didn't deserve it. I didn't know why. I learned. And I want people to that's why before we came, I was like, is there a board? I'm going to have a board here next week, ladies and gentlemen. Take out your books and your pens. And I shite you not, brother. There is one of my students, I know he's watching. That young man's going to come tomorrow with a book. Now I have a never done now. Bring a book with all my notes. And I don't want to know what I spoke about.
Yeah.
And then I must sign it. Now, but in essence, bro, I don't know. That's where it boils from. Ik maak ook notes. You know what I mean? You forgot your book in the Uber.
Yeah.
So, coming to our last 10 minutes here to get to my crux. And I think I've obviously went to my crux already.
Yeah.
You, in your business, I know why. you know how you do what you do also.
Yeah.
You know what is the results. What's the desire for the business?
The desire.
Yeah, the desire. And in essence, when I ask what is the desire, is the what do I know versus what do I believe?
Okay. So the desire, right? What do I know? Any person that is onboarded, any business that is onboarded, I know that my intentions with the business is pure and it's good, right? It's definitely there to make a positive impact, right?
Nice.
You said, what do you know, and what was the other one?
Versus what do I believe?
What do I believe? And I believe, strongly believe that because of the skills and the expertise that I can just give all glory to the man above. Because of that, I know and I believe that it's gonna make a positive impact. And how does this come to the desire? My success, my business's success comes from my clients' successes. So as my clients get successful, that means I'm like, say for example, what we also do is we write up proposals for businesses, right?
Okay.
And we got this one lady that's like proposing for about 30 million.
Okay.
I think she recently changed it now to 35 million, but nevertheless, so we pour out everything to get her that 30 million, and the moment she gets the 30 million, I feel like, hey, I just won $1 million. I'm a millionaire now. But in essence, that millions didn't come to me.
Correct.
It went to my client. So that is the desire for the business. The desire for the business is to be able to create a positive impact in the business, and everyone is unique, So with my uniqueness and with everyone else's uniqueness, different angles. I mean, if we're sitting in a room and there's 4 corners, right? There's 4 corners in the room. Like right now, I can see 2 corners, but you can see the other 2.
Different perspective.
Different perspectives makes us able to analyze the room much better. So I got your back and you got my back. So yeah, I think that's it.
I look, sometimes when you say what your intention is, even when you start that, like, what's your intention behind it? Because people, you can either come on here and sell what you are selling and sell your business, or you can sell your why.
True.
So people can go in like, okay, I get the essence of what he's doing, but I also understand why he's doing it. You know what I mean? And that in essence, because how do you make your decision of whether, because it's, like you said, there's most other businesses doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other people doing what you're doing, but you know why they're doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
And that's what I want to get across, is that there's a culture of, I'm going to say the culture of faith, but when there's a culture of language, so obviously when people work with you, there's a culture that they work with you. You're willing to find out, this is my why, I'm transparent, you know what I do. How do I get to what you want? Through my why. And it's that aligning. Because what I have here now to share with you with the call center agents is that it's the same, like you're saying. Once you find your why, and you were saying like your business relations is very important to you. And I can hear that your relation is how I serve you is how I would serve myself. And yes, brother, that's your why.
Yeah.
Because people, this is in essence, here we go, here's it.
Here's it. It's coming, guys.
It's coming. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it.
Why you do it.
That is Simon Sinek, in quote, why, in essence, in everything. It is the most contrasting principle to business. However, if we look deeper, we are in an era now of branding.
Yes.
And it doesn't, and it in this era of business, in this next 10 years, it's going to be, people are going to buy why you do it.
Yeah.
As people still buy why Jen.
Exactly.
Youngsters still have his why. My gunsteling.
Why with a question mark?
It's my brother. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Why? That man, when I go for that, I'm goat vibes. I'm still Kapan. And he's so authentic. I got him the other day and I was like, yo, you're like, really? You know your why, man?
Yeah.
Like, when I was just in his presence, got him at the shop buying honey. He's like, you can feel it when somebody knows their why. And in essence, when you know it, it just makes everything stronger. And I think that's why you've been pushing through and will continue to push through. So, as I close off, any closing words for us or thoughts for us?
I just wanted to touch on that youngster, because
yes, please do.
I was as I was explaining to you about why, I was thinking about youngster and there's that one song he has. It says sleep is for the rich.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, every day we go sleep. So we are still rich.
Yep.
Rich doesn't just mean in finance.
Yep.
There's many things. I mean, does a chocolate have finance? No way. But it's rich.
Oh, you're going for the youngster double entendres. You must like that double entendres. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I would say is that, maintaining your focus onto why and your purpose, that would allow you to transcend above everything.
Because your why requires faithfulness. And fortunately, we've all been given faith. Like my grandmother told me, she said, it is not the mustard seed that moves the mountain. It is the mustard tree that moves the mountain. So I'm like, so she said, it is of ye of little, you just need that. He's saying you need that amount of faith.
That amount of faith, there we go. That amount of faith of a mustard seed. Like, how small is that?
Because Mensa was like, nah, that mustard seed is not going to move the mountain. It's not the mustard seed. That's just the amount of faith you need. This is where the why starts. Somebody saying, I want to lay on the beach and do nothing. It can start as little as changing the language you speak.
Wow.
And that will grow your faith. My brother, thank you for your time, for making it. Through the fires, of all Hades and Vitivani, bro. Hercules is back riding through.
They didn't want me here.
Nah,
they just didn't want me here. Like, first I wanted to pull the car out.
True.
That's a problem. Then I'm requesting Ubers. That's a problem.
And them came with his wife's phone.
I got my wife's phone here. It's just everything was like against me, and like I mentioned to you, that just made my why I should be here stronger. And the stronger your why is, I mean, the sky's the limit at that point.
Now we'll keep pushing. So by process, I got the second season, episode 1, the Liftoff Leadership Podcast. Kingsley, Kisner, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Muller.
I'll give you a review on your audition.
Please do.
You did well. Nice plugging in the book. We can say the Bible. Don't worry, they won't bleep it out.
No, definitely.
And we won't get cancelled.
Yeah.
We never mentioned anything. But obviously, as we know, we must give thanks to Beyonce. And my brother, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope it's not the first and the last.
No, brother. Your audition went well.
Like you said, leadership can be learned, but it can also be taught.
Yes.
So having outreach programs for that. Nobody teach you how to be a father. There isn't a manual for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you learn by how
The environment.
how you go. If your father taught you good, you could be a good father. But actually being able to go and teach that it is possible.
100%.
So
we're going to take us on the next episode again. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. The Liftoff Leadership Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. We're out of here.
Boom, boom.
I didn't even pause for dramatic effect.